Morning, grade 10. It's been a while since I've been able to say hello to you. So, hello. I hope you had a good long weekend. I hope you got out and did something. Um, yeah. So, today we are going to do pages 177 to 180 or 162 to 165. Again, that seems like a lot, like I said in the video description. But it's all work we've already done and been tested on. We're just not going to be graphing. We're just going to be solely using algebra. Okay? So let's get down to it. Here we are on page 177 or page 162. You don't need to write this down. You already know it, but I'm just writing it to remind you. There's four forms. One, standard form. Oh, sorry. I don't like to start with standard form. I like to start with general form. So I can make this joke. Yes, sir. AX plus BY plus C equals 0. Then there's his ugly cousin. Standard form. Which is AX plus BY equals C. Then there's slope intercept. Which is y equals mx plus b. And lastly, there is, slope point. Which is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Now you will notice all four of those share some commonalities. One, there is x and y in all four, which means any point on a graph, any point I have has an x and a y, which means they can sub into any form. And then other than that, it's just what information you have will dictate which form you use. So let's go on and do some of these. So let's look at this first one. Find the linear function. Remember, a function is f of x equals, and then some math. And the f of x we write as a y. So I have a slope of 5 and a y-intercept of 4. So obviously, since I have a slope and a y-intercept, I'm going to use slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So the slope is 5, slope is m, slope equals m. So y equals 5x. That's the y-intercept. It's positive 4 plus 4. And I'm done. That's how fast these questions go. Take this answer and turn it into standard form. Standard form, ax plus by equals c. So all I do is I put the x's and y's on the same side. This x is on the wrong side, so y equals 5x plus 4. Now I remember that the x has to be positive. So this x is positive. So I have a couple of choices. I could move it, but then it would become negative, and then I'd have to change everything. Or I can leave the x there and move the y. That's what I like to do. I like to move the y there, which means I got to move that away from the x's. So my new equation is 5x minus y equals negative 4. General form, yes sir, ax plus by plus c equals 0. Same rule. X has to be positive. It's already positive. All I got to do is move this c back over. 5x minus y plus 4 equals 0. And there is general form. Yes, sir. And I won't do the joke again, I promise. But I will have a sip of coffee. All right. Sir, what do we have here? We have a slope and we have a point. So obviously it is point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And we remember that these are the points from here. So we have y minus, there's my point, minus 2 equals m is slope, 2/3, x minus 6. Then we just tidy it up. Y minus minus 2 is y plus 2 equals 2/3. X minus 6 is just x minus 6. Done. Now, this is the answer we're working with. So I'm going to slide it down here. And I want that answer in standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. Notice, no brackets, no fractions. So I got to get rid of these brackets and this fraction. So let's do that. How do I get rid of that divided by 3? Well, I multiply by 3. If I multiply the right side, I multiply the left side. And I get 3y plus 6 equals 2x minus 6. Then I just solve it. I don't solve it, sorry. I simplify again to get rid of the brackets. 3y plus 6 equals 2x minus 12. Now, I have it all set up, no fractions, no brackets. X has to be positive. It is, so I'm going to leave x where it is and move everything else. 2x, I'm going to move that 3 over, minus 3y. There's my x's and y's together, so I better move that 12 over here to be the c. Becomes positive 18. There is standard form. Now to put it in general form, all I got to do is move the 18 to x minus 3y minus 18 equals 0. And lastly, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. All I got to do is isolate y. I got all kinds of places I can isolate y. 2x minus 3y equals 18. Isolate y. Negative 3y equals, bring that over, negative 2x plus 18. Divide everything by 3, by negative 3. Y equals 2/3, because negative divided by negative is positive, 2/3 x minus 6. And that's done. You can see how fast this goes. There's nothing to it. So now I want the equation of this line, but I want it in slope-intercept form. Now I look at that, and what do I see? I see that I have no slope. But I know that slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, there's an x, there's an x, there's a y, there's a y. Let's solve it. 4 minus 5 over negative 2 minus 1 is negative 1 over negative 3, which is positive 1/3. There's my slope. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. M is 1/3. Y equals 1/3 x plus b. Mr. Myers, how do I solve that? I've got y, x, and a b. Well, kid, there's a y and an x. There's a y and an x. I can use either one. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to use this one because there's a 1 in it. So y is 5. 5 equals 1/3 times 1 plus b. What's 1/3 times 1? It's 1/3. 5 equals 1/3 plus b. I got to get b by itself, so I'm going to bring this over here. 5 minus 1/3 is 4 2/3. So that is what b is. So y equals 1/3 x plus 4 2/3. Slope and an x-intercept of 2. Now this fools everyone because as soon as you see slope and intercept you want to do slope-intercept form. But remember an x-intercept of 2 is 2, 0. So y equals 5/3 x plus b. There's my x and my y. 0 equals 5/3 times 2 plus b. 0 equals 10/3 plus b. b equals -10/3. Then I can just write it out. Y equals 5/3 x minus 10/3. And I'm done. So easy. Find the equation that goes through here and is parallel to here. So that gives me a point, but I don't have a slope. Or do I? If it's parallel, it's got the same slope as this guy. So if I know his slope, I know his slope. So 4y equals -2x plus 7. Y equals -2/4 x plus 7. Y equals -1/2 x plus 7/4. There's my slope. So now I have a slope, m equals -1/2, and I have a point, -3, 1. What uses a slope and a point? Slope-point form, first try. Y minus 1 equals -1/2 x minus -3, so x plus 3. Done. Find the equation of a line that goes through there. There's my point. So I need a slope perpendicular. So if I find this slope, move the x, 8y equals -x plus 5, y equals -1/8 x plus 5. That's the slope I have, but I need perpendicular. So I flip it, 8/1, and I change the sign to positive. 8/1 is, of course, a slope of 8. So y minus -2, y plus 2, equals -8 x minus 3. Now, my battery just faded, so I have to plug in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pause for a second. Back. Write the equation of each line. A. I got a point. I got another point. There's the slope. 1/4, 2 points. So that point right there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5 with a slope of 1/4. So y minus 5 equals 1/4 x minus 5. Done. B, right here. I got a point. I got a point. Choose one of those. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to do this one. -2, -4. And my slope is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, -3/2. So y plus 4 equals -3/2 x plus 2. C, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. x equals 5, because no matter where we go on the line, x is always 5. D, right there, right there, no matter where we go on the line, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Y is always 9. And E, I've got a y-intercept right there. I've got a slope of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my M equals 2/7, and my y-intercept equals 1, 2, 3, 4, -6. So y equals 2/7 x minus 6, because I use slope-intercept form there. And the last page, I need to find k. What do I see right there? An x. What do I see right there? A y. So all I do is fill it in. An x-intercept of 3. 3, 0. That's an x. That's a y. I use blue and green, so I just fill it in. 3 times 3, because there's my x, and I'll use blue, plus 2 times y, I'll use green, 0, minus k equals 0. Bring that k over here. K equals 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2 times 0, which is 0. 9 equals k. Done. It's the exact same question, right? So it's 3, keep my color scheme, 3, -2, plus 2, 0, equals k, because I keep that k moved over here. So that's -6 plus 0 equals k, -6 equals k. There's my answer there. This one, a y-intercept of 3, so that point is, the x's are blue, 0, and the y's are green, -3. I just sub it in. 3 times 0 plus 2 times -3 equals k. So k equals -6. Y-intercept is 7. 0, 7. 3 times 0 plus 2 times 7 equals k. So k equals 14. There's my x. There's my y. So it's just 3 times 2 plus 2 times -1 equals k. So that is 6 minus 2 equals k. So k equals 4. And I know some of you are going to say, k equals 21, what? K equals 4. And lastly, 3 times -4 plus 2 times 3 equals k. So k equals -12 plus 6, -6 equals k. And we're done. Your job, I can't actually remember what I wanted you to do here, so I'm going to pause for a sec. So what I want you to do is do the next assignment. Now it says it's an assignment. It's pages 181 to whenever it ends. But I'm not going to have it as an assignment. I'm just going to have you do it. And your next video on Friday, I'm going to go through that whole assignment. Okay? You can mark it as you see fit. All right? That's all. We'll see you Friday. Hopefully I'll see some of you at the meet tomorrow.